DuckyGamerDX announced he was having a several-year hiatus, I wept. Well, I didn't, I was just a bit sad, but still, he was very good to me when I was first starting up this channel, and he allowed me to do my first ever collaboration, so I'm very much appreciative of that, and I feel as though it's time to pay him back, so this is Ducky Dash. What's the first thing you'd expect from a game? An intro cutscene, a turret section, even a main theme song? Ducky Dash doesn't arse about with any of that, throwing you straight in the deep end without so much a menu screen. That's right, you see the title, you get the controls, and 3 seconds to change your underwear before the race starts. Yeah, this is how games should be. No arsing about, just straight up balls to the wall action. Or not, as the case with Ducky Dash may be. See, there's no dash in Ducky Dash, you're just bobbing through wide streams filled with a gelatinous clear liquid laced with spunk, looking at cobbled together assets and avoiding level hazards. Level hazards which include glitchy spouts of water that blast you out of the stream, requiring a restart, and beavers that barely hinder your progress. And I'm abusing the term progress because you're not so much as progressing or even racing, but sauntering or bobbing along.
It's lovely bobbing along. Bobbing along on the bottom of the beautiful
nightmare 12-hour dance we couldn't stop doing for 12 fucking hours.
Bobbing along, singing a song on the bottom of the beautiful briny sea.
Now will you stop this Disney shite? We're gonna get sued to buggery, quite apart from eating to fuck.
Your goal is to get to the end and get a rating out of 3 stars. Naturally, the faster you glide along this refrigerated jelly, the better your time will be. Double D fails to mention the requirements for a 3-star rating though, only mentioning your current and best times, making it hard to tell exactly what's required of you to succeed. To guarantee a better score though, your rubber ducky will need to pick up stars, or thunderbolts, depending on which part of the screen you're looking at, to blast them forward with stiff controls. These boosts are limited though, so you have to ration them unless you want to end up forcing yourself through the latter part of the race slog. Even though not having boosts makes the game rather boring, it at least tries to be interesting with its dastardly currents, crashing waves that launch you into other lakes, and characters watching on the riverbank gleefully. Still, that's no replacement for the painfully slow majority of the time spent in Ducky Dash. It's quite an accomplishment that it only takes an hour to complete, because it feels more like 12! This doesn't mean it's not challenging though, there's times when I was stuck for, what, 4 minutes? These sprinklers are killers, you know! I have to admit I enjoyed looking at the mishmashed art assets and the environments the dev threw together to try and make the tracks look different to one another. It's not exactly Riptide GP, but I do find games like this to be charming in their own dysfunctional way. I mean, I'm playing as a rubber ducky, how could I hate this? But being serious for a moment, there's little cohesion in the environments. It's not that I dislike the parks or the forests or industrial zones that we go to, on the contrary, I'm a big fan of the city levels. I just don't know how we go from one to another, especially when we stumble upon a magical fairy kingdom. Perhaps only rubber duckies go there. It's like Valhalla to them, I guess. My point is that a lot of the art pieces don't belong here, and the few that do are slapped on with clipping issues or little in terms of variety. At least turn the trees around a bit! This alone wouldn't solve the pandemonium that you'll bear witness to, but it'd be a start. Sadly, that's all Ducky Dash is. It's just the beginning of a game, filled with placeholder pieces, wonky animations, and controls. Just about the only thing that feels worth paying for is the soundtrack, and it has a nice mellow tone to suit this surprisingly tranquil game. It's a bit like a Kingdom for Keflins. You remember that? Now that was awesome. Get that instead.
That's enough of that. Disney shite!
The day not half over, and 10,000 slain, and now there's nobody remembers.
The nightmare 12-hour dance we couldn't stop doing for 12 fucking hours!
I really don't want to sound tighter than a duck's arse when I say this, but Ducky Dash simply isn't worth its £6.99 asking price in any regard. Although it is pretty and I'd pay for the soundtrack on its own, the game itself doesn't do anything. Now I know what you're thinking. It's for children. I agree, which is why I think they should get more. I'd imagine children of all ages would get bored very easily unless they're playing the split-screen multiplayer, which might add a few more minutes to its total runtime. If there were more power-ups or ways to turn off environmental hazards, maybe even a level editor, I can see them enjoying Ducky Dash a whole lot more. But until such additions are made, I reckon only adults with a lot of spare time will get any emotion out of this besides lumps of boredom. And you don't want lumpy boredom. Lumps in your boredom? Lumps! To conclude, Ducky Dash could have been a better game if it was about the animal characters and vehicles you see standing around, and was about dashing. I can't believe I'm saying this about a game this price, but hey, I'd only recommend Ducky Dick Around in a sale, and if you're desperate for a cheap, unrewarding time attack game. Until the next time, I'm Johnbonne, your number one source for number 2 games. But before I go, I really do recommend you check out DuckyGamerDX's channel, and you can see a link in the description below. And you can also see that video where I'm there as well. It's the best one!
Bobbing along on the bottom of the beautiful briny sea. What a chance to get a better peep.
Duck buggery.